Diwali celebration, one of the highlights of Leicester for me. Leicester is such a diverse, multicultural, inclusive, and welcoming city. And the Diwali celebration is a great example of our diversity. All around the world, people know about Leicester City. So this Festival of Light is a great opportunity to shine the light on Leicester. So have a great celebration, everyone. Happy Diwali.
Gujarat to Golden Mile. The journey that takes us from the rich art and heritage of festivals, food, and large families to the place we know here as home, Leicester. We have worked on getting the most authentic stories from people that migrated and settled in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The kind of stories that our grandparents tell, not sparing any details, how you all listen huddled up around with your family. The project was heavily crafted by a team of young people at Nupur Arts Youth Association, giving them a prime opportunity to spread awareness and be a proud representative of Gujarati culture. From research, interviewing, and filming to creating exhibitions and displays, everything was done by our Naya team. This exhibition shows a glimpse into why our older generation chose Leicester. It was so important for them to settle here and through the hardships they had to navigate to get to where they are today. Every interview with her is all about their difficulties learning a new language, and sometimes not being able to communicate when they most needed to. We truly hope to keep the Gujarati culture alive for many years through projects like this, encouraging the youth of today spread the culture with family recipes, festival traditions, and the language of our beautiful mother tongue, Gujarati. Come and view these incredible stories and artifacts at Newark Houses Museum until the 28th of November. And a huge thank you to all our funders and supporters.
Hello, my name is Ramanbhai Babar. I'm the Deputy Lieutenant of Leicestershire. Diwali is an important festival for all of us, and I'm glad that today we are enjoying Diwali with family and friends together. And I wish a very happy Diwali and a prosperous New Year on behalf of Lord Lieutenant of Leicestershire. Hope you all enjoy Diwali safely. Thank you.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम पतित पावन सीताराम पतित पावन सीताराम
No matter how young or old you are, everyone looks forward to the fireworks, which are the climax of our Diwali celebrations here in Leicester.
So before we enjoy our virtual fireworks for this evening, we hope you've enjoyed our very special programme. From both of us, a very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year. Let the countdown begin.
So, all together. 10,
9,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy Diwali.
I'm Kamlesh Purohit.
And I'm Shruti Chauhan.
Welcome to the biggest and best celebrations of Diwali outside of India, right here on Belgrave Road.
If you're joining us on the Golden Mile, thank you for coming out. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and warm greetings if you're watching this on the internet, either at home or anywhere else in the world. A very special welcome to our celebrations.
Over the next hour or so, we hope to entertain you by showcasing some of the very finest talent from Leicester. Whether it's classical, Bollywood or poetry, we've got it all for you.
Cam, Diwali celebrations in Leicester have been going on for decades, haven't they? Of course, it's well before my time, but not so much yours.
Thank you. Well, the festival had very humble beginnings in the 1960s, but it was really in the 1970s that the celebrations came into their own with the arrival of the Ugandan Asians.
Since then, celebrations have gone from strength to strength, and before the pandemic, over 40,000 people from Leicester and beyond used to come to enjoy our festival. Today, Leicester has one of the largest Diwali celebrations outside of India. The festival actually has very humble beginnings. Back in the 1960s, people celebrated privately in their own homes. The 80s marked the beginning of the celebrations we know and love today. In 1983, the community gave life to the idea of decorative lights, which would have a huge impact on Leicester's Golden Mile. By the 90s, Diwali celebrations had developed an international reputation. What had originally been regarded as a local celebration was now a major festival. Today, over 40,000 people from across the world flock to experience the festival. Fireworks spectacles and 6,000 lights on Belgrave Road light up Leicester. Over 50 events are spread across the city. The celebrations reflect a new age, a stronger community, and greater ambition for a festival with a global reputation. Ayodhya was a city of glistening waters, of sunlit beauty and abundant green. King Dashrath ruled with love and grace, and by his side 3 virtuous queens. But he longed to be a father, for a child to carry forward his name. So he invited an enlightened sage, who lit a sacred fire in prayer. Before long, 4 princes were welcomed. Kaushalya gave birth to Ram. Kaikai delivered Bharat. Lakshman and Shatrughna came last. Dashrath showered his boys with love. He taught them right from wrong. And with knowledge of scriptures and warfare, they grew noble, brave, and strong. Dashrath looked on in bliss, but thought it was now time for Ram, the eldest prince, to find himself a bride. Ram was taken to Mithila, where Princess Sita was to choose her groom. Kings and princes from far. Before them the gilded bow of Shiv, which was to be lifted and strung, and only he who succeeded would be Sita's chosen one. But not one suitor among them could lift the bow from the ground, until Ram emerged, strung it with ease, and broke it with a thunderous sound. Sita stepped forward with a garland. She placed it around Ram's neck. With their parents' blessings, they were married, and back to Ayodhya they went. One day, Dashrath saw his reflection. He noticed strands of grey, a sign that he was aging, a sign of passing days. He announced that his eldest son Ram would be crowned king the next day. The entire kingdom rejoiced, and preparations were soon underway. But the hunchbacked maid Mantra cast a shadow in the mind of Kaikai. If Ram becomes king, she whispered, your son Bharat will be enslaved. She reminded Kaikai of 2 wishes she'd been granted by Dashrath in the past. So Kaikai called the king to her chamber and began to make demands. I wish for my son to be king, she sobbed, and I wish for the exile of Ram. For 14 years I wish him gone. This is all I've ever asked. The king staggered to the ground, and Ram was brought to his side. As a son, it is my duty, said Ram, to fulfill my parents' desires. Ram prepared to leave for the forest, Lakshman and Sita by his side. In saffron robes, they mounted a chariot, and a crowd gathered to say goodbye. In the depths of tranquil nature, Ram, Lakshman and Sita found peace. Together they built a home beside flowers and gurgling streams. But one day the demoness Surpanka, while passing by their hut, cast her eyes on Ram and immediately fell in love. In a graceful maiden guise, she approached and asked for his hand. I am already married, he replied. I hope you understand. So Surpanka turned to Lakshman, but she was denied again. In fury, she lunged at Sita, the one obstacle in her way. Lakshman ran to Sita's aid. He sliced off Surpanka's nose with his sword. In horror, she clutched her bloodied face. You'll be sorry, she roared. Surpanka begged her brother Ravan to avenge her pitiful disgrace. So he sent a demon disguised as a deer to graze before Ram's place. Sita spotted the golden deer. She watched it shimmer in delight. I'm enchanted by its beauty, she told Ram. I would love to call it mine. I beg of you, dear Ram, it is one of its kind. Capture it, be quick, and bring it back alive. Ram collected his bow and arrow, told Lakshman not to leave Sita's side. Then he began to chase the deer that darted in and out of his sight. A long distance away from the hut, Ram finally struck the deer in its chest. But in its guise, the demon cried, Lakshman, Sita, help! Lakshman heard Ram's anguished cry, but bound to his word, he couldn't leave. In anger, Sita commanded him, You will go, your brother is in need. Around the hut with an arrow, Lakshman marked a line. You will come to no harm, he said to Sita, as long as you stay inside. Lakshman left, and Ravan arrived, dressed as a hermit in robes. He chanted a prayer, then asked Sita, Why are you alone? Sita proudly declared, I am the wife of Ram. He's the most honorable man you'll find in this entire land. The innocent Sita continued to talk to the hermit at her door, and when she crossed the line to offer him some alms, he cackled and revealed his true form. Sita screamed for Ram, but no one heard her cries. Ravan dragged her into his chariot and ascended into the sky. Ram and Lakshman returned to an empty hut and scattered fruit. Streaming tears and head in hands, they set out to search for clues. On their way, a distraught Ram asked all the animals and trees, Have you seen my Sita? Do you know where she could be? But then they met the monkey god Hanuman, and